From the NBA's earliest days, big men dominated the game and the headlines. The league's first superstar was towering George Mikan, the center of the Minneapolis Lakers, who led his team to 3 straight championships in the 1950s. But as the fledgling NBA looked to take its place in the national spotlight, it would turn its eyes to a different kind of star, a smaller player who brought new creativity and flair to the game and grabbed the attention of fans across the country like never before.
I think Cousey was to the NBA what Babe Ruth was to baseball. Cousey put a lot of flash into what he did. Cousey was putting the ball behind his back, and he'd do all these spectacular ball handling things, and it looked like magic. He not only helped the NBA, but he helped establish the franchise in Boston and created fans.
Nicknamed the Houdini of the hardwood, Bob Cousey was the NBA's first true showman, and quickly he was playing to packed houses in every city.
It's entertainment. We're all, in that sense, if we're honest with ourselves, I suppose we're all kind of show-offs in the sense that, you know, we want to display our skills, we want to be successful, and we want the appreciation of the audience.
Cousey was more than just a sideshow, however. Carefully orchestrating the Celtics' offense, he displayed an uncanny court sense that helped him revolutionize the role of playmaker.
Cousey would really hit the open man, and when you got the ball, you were just in the position where you could take the shot. You never got the ball before you got to your position. Cousey would not give it to you.
Cousey would lead the league in assists for 8 straight seasons, be named to the All-NBA First Team 10 straight times, and become the first guard to be named the league's most valuable player. But perhaps his greatest legacy is his unmatched record of team success. For over a decade, it seemed that a championship celebration in Boston was an annual rite.
It's all over, and there they go. They've won it again.
Collecting an unprecedented 6 titles in 7 years, Cousey fashioned a long list of memorable performances. But perhaps none summed up his brilliant career better than his last.
Everybody on our ball club truly respected Cousey's ability and wanted him to go out with a championship.
In Game 6 of the 1963 Finals, the Celtics were on the verge of sealing their gift to their leader by delivering another title. But as Cousey injured his ankle, it seemed that his farewell would now be tainted by disappointment.
It made for a dramatic moment because of the circumstances. My last game, the end of a career, the world championship on the line.
But drama was what Cousey had always thrived on, and now would not be an exception.
Cousey came back onto the court, and really his experience and knowing what he could do under those circumstances really helped us emotionally.
Leading his team one last time, he would ensure that his curtain call would end appropriately in championship celebration.
I was very pleased that I was able to get back in and finish in that fashion and throw the ball to the ceiling and hug Russell and now back, and because it was obviously a meaningful moment for me. This was the culmination of 13 years, another championship. So the whole set of circumstances, you know, created the most emotional experience of my career.
Cousey would leave the game as the father of a new style of basketball and as the pioneer for generations of little men to follow.
All I've heard recently is how you're going to replace Bob. That's my answer. Can't be done because that's Mr. Basketball. Thank you.
Red Auerbach was right. Bob Cousey was irreplaceable. And while there were other undersized players who thrived after the Cousey's retirement, they couldn't equal him in style or in stature. Ultimately, it would be up to Cousey himself to find his rightful heir. In 1970, as coach of the Cincinnati Royals, he would discover an obscure point guard from the University of Texas, El Paso, and dramatically change his destiny.
When Cousey saw me, we sat down. He came to the hotel and we sat down, and he was talking about just drafting me. And I just like you know, for being 6 feet or 5'11" or whatever size I was, I grew. I was 8 feet tall when he told me that, because I didn't really think I had a chance to play in the NBA.
Cousey would not only provide tiny Archibald with a chance, but also with an education.
Coos sat down with me after almost every game and explained to me, not about scoring, about running the team.
Though he would take Cousey's lessons to heart, Tiny would also stay true to his own philosophy.
My concept was to attack people. I wanted people to know that I was on the court. I didn't want people to know that, well, he's relaxed, he's cool, he's in his cool. I didn't play like that.
Using his blinding speed and fearless attitude, Tiny quickly developed into a superstar and exceeded even his mentor's expectations.
I used to tell Tiny, if you're racing down the floor and you see me jump up calling for time, ignore me and go do your thing, create an opportunity. Well, you've got a player like an Archibald who can create whatever they want at any time they want. You're much better off letting them do it.
Whether running his team's offense or piling up points himself, Archibald demoralized opposing defenses. And in 1974, he would become the only player in history to lead the league in scoring and assists in a single season. But one thing he could not match was Cousey's collection of championships.
Our team was so weak offensively that we demanded that he do just about everything. And he literally carried us on his shoulders. It's amazing we didn't wear him out.
Finally, Tiny did wear out. In 1977, he tore his Achilles tendon and sat out over a season and a half. And at age 30, he found himself with the Celtics, his mentor's former franchise, hoping for one more chance.
When I went to Boston, they were actually saying, let's trade Tiny, and, you know, let's see what we can get for him. He's through. He had the injury. He'd had a bad season the year before, and it really looked like his career had come to an end.
But though Tiny may have lost a step, he hadn't lost his fierce determination.
Tiny in the lane, plays it up and in. Tiny Archibald. Tiny is something else, I'll tell you.
I want to win. I want to win. That's the only thing I want to do. I want to win. And I remember this to today. Coos said, one of these days, you're going to get a chance to do that.
Archibald. Archibald is a penetrate. Look at the back.
Tiny would regain his all-star status and become the Celtics' captain and emotional catalyst.
He gave us a great deal of the fight and grit that we had and the character, because here's a guy that everybody had counted out, and when they saw him get up from a 9 count and go on to bigger and better things, I think it was the type of thing that gives you that quiet leadership.
In leading the talent-laden Celtics, Tiny would sacrifice his scoring and concentrate on distributing the ball. And fittingly, in the tradition of Cousey himself, he would drive the Celtics all the way to a championship.
He was surrounded by talented players, and he literally played them like a conductor. He had become the complete prototype point guard.